I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
You know, I'm the kind of person that I'll talk about anything with anybody, but there are certain things I kind of don't talk about or I kind of stay away from just because I feel like it's pointless. I feel like there's certain things nobody can do about it. Like, for example, what if someone comes to you and says, I can tell you the exact day that you die? Would you want to know? If someone says they're going to tell you, they can tell you when you're going to die, but you don't know exactly how or what's going to happen, what good will that information do you? Sure, you can tell people you love them and try to get your affairs in order. You'll know how much time you have, but it's not like you can say, look, I'm going to be here and I'm going to move. I'm going to strategically be in this place or this place, because wherever you are, it could just be some random of rock flies out of the sky or a car drive through a wall or anything can happen to you. And there's nothing you can do about it. When somebody comes and tells me they have predictions of terror or people doing stuff, there's really nothing you can do about it. You don't know what someone has planned. The best that you can do is stay home and not go out in public, not be in crowded places. But what kind of life is that? Are you really living? Are you getting the experience? Basically, you're letting fear, anticipation of something bad happening dictate where you are going to be and what you're going to do with yourself. And in my opinion, that's not life. That's not living. That's just barely, that's barely surviving. To live in fear, to be dominated by fear. I remember back during the lockdown, the president at the time gets on television and says, this is going to be a dark winter. Everyone's going to die. You're going to die. If you don't do this, if you don't join this medical experiment, you're out of here. You're toast. Literally, people are watching CNN and they're just telling you numbers piling up. People are having panic attacks because they're watching the news. They're just scared to death. And there's nothing you could really do about it to mitigate it. At the time, in the very beginning, before they even rolled out that poison, they offered nothing. So then what's the point of telling people about it? You can't do nothing with the information. Space is fake. But when they make up stories every day, oh yeah, there's a meteor passing in an asteroid, man, all that shit's bullshit nonsense. But let's say we lived in a different universe and it was real. What the fuck could you do about it? Nothing. You can't run. You can't hide from it. So it's no point in even knowing about it. For one thing, the anxiety and the fear is debilitating and it can make you sick. So that's why I don't like this kind of stuff. Now, but I am a man. If a war breaks out, they're expecting someone of my size, my age, to go out there and defend my home country, defend my nation. Even though I find it kind of hard until the trans stuff is made illegal, until pedophilia is made illegal again, I don't see the point of even, what am I defending? What values am I dying for, risking my life for? Right now, we don't have them. And I think that was the whole purpose of this, just debilitating and making people not feel a sense of patriotism based on the lifestyle that they're promoting. That it's an anti-American lifestyle anyway. But right now, the same man who predicted with exact detail the Trump attempted assassination, he has this other prediction. Now, like I was saying, I'm fighting age. None of us conservative men are in the dark about what's coming. Do you think, okay, has anybody ever flown out of the country? Have you guys ever been international before? When you're international, do you know what it takes to go through customs to get into the United States? You think it's easy? You think you just walk through, just walk in? No. For years, there are lists of people who can't even fly into the country. We have 4 years of a wide open border where anybody can just come across. There were admitted terrorists from other countries that literally have came over the border. We have no idea where they are, no idea what they're doing. Why do you think we've been screaming about securing the border? Why do you think we've been yelling about getting Trump back in office, locking down the border, doing deportation? Because we don't know where these people are. We don't know what they have planned. If you read what this man is saying, this is what we have been worried about. This is what we're all expecting. Fear of this happening cannot dominate you. It says terror prediction, prophecy of more than 1,000 terrorists carrying out major attacks in over 10 U.S. cities. Only 1,000? It could be 50,000, 100,000, literally millions of men from other countries. We don't even, okay, for one thing, we don't even know who paid for these people's plane tickets to get to South America, and then for them to be trafficked from South America up to the Mexican border, and then trafficked from the border of Mexico to the United States border, and then trafficked across the United States border into the country where we had American government officials and buses and planes literally flying people with no identifications into the interior of the country. We have no idea what we do have an idea what they have planned. We've been expecting this. But the good thing, this is the beautiful thing about the United States. At least we stand a fighting chance because we're armed. We're armed. We stand a chance. When this happens in Europe, which if you think this is going to only happen in the United States, you're wrong. They're going to hit every NATO Western nation where they've literally flooded the country with illegals and men from the third world. And we don't know why. The World Economic Forum has strategically placed these people in, I will say, 7 G7 countries: Canada, the United States, the UK, France, Germany. Where else? I would say Australia. That's it. They've strategically brought third world people into these countries, and we don't know why. They're just sitting, just waiting for instructions. Instructions that it sounds like Pastor Biggs is claiming they are going to have. Now, the best case scenario is these people have been coming over. They've been here for 2 years. They're addicted to American life, American culture. Maybe they don't want to commit suicide anymore. Maybe they don't want to delete themselves anymore, trying to hurt other people. Maybe their ideology has changed because their situation has changed. Back in their home country, they lived in a different world, a different set of circumstances. Now over here, they have a chance at having a life, having a wife, having children, growing old. Maybe they changed their mind. Maybe they don't want to do these attacks anymore. That's the best case scenario. But if they're true ideologues, like some of these other terrorists that they caught at the border, like that one guy who came here from Iran, and he said, "You don't know my name now, but you will know my name," and they still brought him into the country. And we don't know where he is right now. And it turns out he's on the terror watch list, and he's from Iran, and he had all these other credentials. He's in the country. What is he doing? You know, the people in the deep state that Trump refers to, the people who work with the World Economic Forum, the people who want to watch this country burn so they can rebuild some technocratic, feudalistic, communist, limited population society, those people need something to happen. You thought they were going to just let Trump come back into office and make America great again and let us live in peace? You're delusional. If you thought they were going to just let you go, just let you live your life, go out, get married, have some children, go to work, pay your bills, eat food, go to restaurants, hang out at an Applebee's maybe on the weekend if they still have them where you live. You thought they were going to let you just go on with your life after they locked down the world back in 2020 and you're still alive? Not going to happen. So one way or another, something's going to give. Now, we were all thinking that something would have given, before it even got this far. We got the inauguration in 2 days. But you see, they just moved the inauguration inside of the Capitol building. It's not going to be outside. There is going to be a cold spell, an Arctic vortex, but I'll be honest, this is for security reasons. They're bringing it indoors. But to be honest, how many of those drones do they clock over the eastern seaboard? Okay, how many of those drones have a payload on them? How many of them can explode? You know, whatever they're going to do to us is going to be novel. It's going to be new. You know, the Russians hit the Ukrainians with only one of their new weapons. We don't know the rest of them. And the Russians aren't our enemy. What I'm saying is that there are other enemies who are literally American citizens who literally are trying to take over. They want to see this place burn. They don't want Trump back in office. They don't want people like me talking on the internet. They don't want men standing up for themselves and resisting the takeover. We have this to look forward to. So I'm going to play this video. These are his predictions. There's people who follow me that don't know anything about this. And I play these videos and I go on live for my audience. I'm not here for the world. I'm not here for everybody. I have people that are my friends on Facebook that have known me for years. They are shocked every time they see me put up a video. They're like, what the fuck is he doing? I just know this guy to party and get drunk and hang out and party with girls and yada, yada. But that's the fun stuff is my bottom line. Bad decisions and poor politics literally started affecting my bottom line in 2020. And now I have to make videos and talk to people to make them aware of what's going on so that we're better prepared. But the best preparation you can have is just not being in any crowded venues. Even staying home is not a guarantee, because what if your home is in the radius of, think about it. If somebody told you there's going to be, you know, you're going to die in a fire, did you think that people in Palisades thought there was going to be self-detonating smart meters on the side of their house that was going to literally cause infernos when there was high winds? And it was all perfectly timed. They did this when the winds were high so that you could burn, so the fires would spread. They cut the hydrants off so that you could not stop the spread. This was all scheduled. This 15-minute cities agendas is real. All this stuff is really happening. We're at war. Trump's coming back into office. That's literally the day it officially begins. I don't think we're going to have one day of calm and peace the whole presidency. But at least with Trump, we have a chance. We have a chance to fight back. If something happens to Trump, God forbid, we have Vance. We have other people behind him. We also have his views, his mandate. We also have his plans. We have his playbook. With or without Trump, we can still go forward. If something does happen to Trump, God forbid, don't despair. We will still be able to move forward. So we have to keep the faith, and we have to understand that God is with us. America is a special place. You have to believe that about yourself and where you're from. If not, then what are you doing? I would personally go live somewhere that I do feel that affinity and passion about. Why would you live somewhere you hate? Go live somewhere that you love. If you don't love it, leave it. You do have an option. There's flights to leave the country every hour on the hour. But if you're going to be here, just understand that you're going to have to fight for what's yours. There is a fight coming. These people came across this border. Certain communities were enabling them, and those communities are going to have to be held accountable too. That's why hopefully someone like myself is never put in charge. Hopefully I'm never put in a position, because I would not be kind to those who literally bet against us, who wanted to see things go down the bad way, who don't want to see us prosper, those who would want to sabotage our way of life. I would not be kind to them. I wouldn't be friendly. So let me play these. Let me play this prediction, and then we'll see who this man is.
You think what happened in Oklahoma City was big? This was like,
I barely remember Oklahoma City and Timothy McVeigh. I don't know how many of you guys are old enough to remember that, but he said this is going to be just as big as Oklahoma City.
so much more, you know, like a huge 9/11 type event, y'all. And so, but it wasn't just one. The Lord showed me that it was over 1,000 men, and there was 10 major cities. There was 10 cities, the Lord told me. And so all the cities were target of like a Trump tower or a Trump golf course or something that was important of our our heritage. Like the Statue of Liberty was a target, and I thought, why the Statue of Liberty? It doesn't have a lot of people around it, but it represents freedom. It represents something that's important to us. And so I saw them go in and they try to take that out. I saw over what's the gardens over? I'm sorry, son. The Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I saw them attacking that. I saw them attacking Chicago. I saw them attacking Houston area. Down.
Now that's where I have a problem. I'm in the Houston area. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. Don't want to see that. Chicago's already being attacked by the people that live there. So I don't think they need any help. The YNs are already doing enough damage in Chicago. They're literally American-born terrorists who have terrorized that city. They don't even need to why waste your bullets and time on the Chicago? You want to go somewhere else. That's not where you want to be. I mean, there's no purpose. It's already destroyed. It's already nuked.
I saw them Oklahoma City, LA, Seattle. There was a lot of cities.
But like I said, I mean, what do they expect you to do? You can't really do anything about it. He's saying these different cities, but he's telling you this so that he can just say, oh, I told you first. Or is he going to say, hey, don't be here? I mean, he doesn't really have much more information besides these cities. He's not even saying the exact day. This could be over the next 4 years. It could be over the next 10 years. It could be over the next 2 weeks. But I don't know. I haven't listened to the whole thing. It's 10 minutes long. So
I saw because he attacked, whenever he assassinated the
talking about Soleimani, the Iranian general. That's what he's trying to say.
Right? And in Iraq, Assam Soleimani, I guess is his name.
Yeah, the
Soleimani.
Quds in Chicago.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever he did that, there's.
Oh, by the way, this is Alex Jones on InfoWars, and this is on X right now.
Still really upset about this. And
follow me on X, Safe and Effective Podcast, Club Rico Podcast, Instagram, Safe and Effective Podcast, and on YouTube. Become a subscriber if you don't mind. Whenever you do watch this video, just go to my. I'm hopefully I'm gaining more subscribers. I need more so I can spread more messages and actually build up this media group that I'm doing. So please subscribe to YouTube and Rumble as well. Safe and Effective Podcast.
So that's what the Lord was showing me is this what they're planning is bigger than terrorist attacks. This is actually an invasion of the war for what I believe is coming. It's not like, well, we're saying, well, this is Al Qaeda, this is ISIS. This is actually an Iranian government coming over here. They've come across the border. I saw them in tunnels that were being smuggled in by drug traffickers. And I saw tunnels. What the Lord showed me is these metal. It looked like metal-looking structures, and they were underneath the earth, and they were actually going from Mexico into America into these like houses, and they were smuggling like they would do for human trafficking and drugs and all that. Well, I saw these men, and there's literally 1,000 of them. I saw over 1,000 men that were being smuggled in, and this is talking big money. This was not just like a little bit of money that I saw that they were paying the drug smugglers and for funding to get over here. But the Lord told me, He said, I want you to focus on fertilizer. And I didn't know what He was saying at the time because I saw these like farming equipment and
fertilizer is used to make explosives and bombs. The nitrous gas is combustible, and what they're saying is what he's trying to put is what he's saying is that when Timothy McVeigh, if my memory serves me correctly, brought down the federal building in Oklahoma City, or so they say, one man did that, which is bullshit. They said that he used hundreds of pounds of fertilizer to do so. Now this guy is saying the exact same thing. Keep in mind, an invasion of the United States is possible. Do not listen to propaganda. People don't forget, this country is divided. You have Democrats and you have Republicans. You have blue states and red states. Red state populations are not all conservatives. Only the conservatives are armed. Democrats are disarmed. Democrats hate guns. If you live in a blue state like California, you don't have guns. Not all of you. It's not even a part of your culture. If you live in New Mexico, you don't have guns. Arizonans, they have them, but you're not allowed to use them. Nevada, you're not allowed to have guns. Oregon, Washington State, this whole country, for the most part, is unarmed. Unless you're in Texas, Tennessee, Florida, Idaho. I'll be honest with you, there's not very many states where people are heavily armed. So you're thinking that if you're invaded, there's going to be just Americans outside. Like, yeah, fucking right. Americans are afraid. And honestly, there's way too many gay and black Americans who hate the country. So if there was a Chinese tank driving down Main Street or on Crenshaw, blacks and gays would literally go jump on the tank, start twerking, and would literally ask them if they need help looking for white people. That's the kind of anger and hatred that the black and gay communities have for white Americans, especially straight white Americans with children. So there's not going to need to be much of an invasion. This country would literally split because think about it, the same people that are mad at Snoop Dogg for performing at Trump's event, those people would literally help Russians and Chinese or whoever, or Iranians if they invaded. They wouldn't fight to save America. They hate America. They hate themselves. They don't have children. They're gay. So they want to see this country go. They're already planning on self-deleting anyway. And they don't want to die alone. They don't care. The only people that care about tomorrow and care about the future of the country are people that are going to have families and people that have children. Everybody else doesn't give a shit. They know they're not in the gene pool. That's why they're recruiting your kids. They don't have their own. So don't think that America couldn't be invaded because everybody has guns. Everybody does not have guns. Why do you think you have so many victims of home invasions in California and these other states? Because you're not armed. It's not a part of your culture. So when he talks about being invaded, take him seriously.
I was like, what are you showing me? And all of a sudden, it was like cyclones, but he was trying to get a vision. He's trying to show me what's coming. So I saw a fertilizer, and the Lord said, I want you to remember Timothy McVeigh and remember what happened in Oklahoma City. And so I saw all this fertilizer for quite a while since they've been here. They've been coming over for a long time now. I saw all these three men for sure. And I can, and if people ask me what they look like, I can describe to the FBI, whoever would ever want to know. But I saw these three men, and the Lord told me that they were like generals in the army, Al Qaeda people. They were like, these are not like little guys. They were being smuggled over. And the one man was a heavy set man with a big beard. And the other guy was not as heavy, and the other guy they were skinnier looking. The other two guys were skinny, but there was three men, and they crossed over around Mexico and Arizona, around that area. And the Lord, that's where I saw in the vision where these men were coming, and I saw mountains in the background. I could see the sun going down, and they got in a black van. And when they got in the black van, they took them north. And that's what the Lord showed me about these three men, and they were very powerful in this terrorist organization. And so, okay, so I'll go back to what the Lord showed me. So the Lord showed me them gathering the materials for making these bombs for over a year, and so they were getting the fertilizers and the vans, and I saw dump trucks. So the Lord showed me that they made them like bulletproof. They put like armor all on the front and on the sides, so if they were going through police barricades or whatever, that they would not be stopped by bullets or any kind of retaliation against them. So they made them like tanks. And so they put all this fertilizer and stuff when they're in this vision. What the Lord showed me, it was very detailed, and I saw them split all of the fertilizer, and they made it into compartments. It looked like 50-gallon drums, but it was humongous.
Win or lose, this man has an amazing and extremely detailed imagination. Who knows what to think, but these are some really exact details.
In the back of these huge diesel dump trucks. And so then I saw two men in those dump trucks, and they had suicide vests on. They had vests on with this explosive devices all over their beds. And so they used the trucks to go through police barricades. So you couldn't stop them. It was very powerful what they were trying to do, shooting out their tires and stuff. But this was, I mean, like I'm saying, this was well funded. And so when they took the trucks, they rammed them through the barricades. And when they finally stopped them, they ignited their vest and blew up the whole area. And it was, if you think what happened in Oklahoma City was big, this was like so much more, like a huge 9/11 type event, y'all. And so, but it wasn't just one. The Lord showed me that it was over 1,000 men, and there was 10 major cities. There was 10 cities, the Lord told me. And so all the cities were had a target of like a Trump Tower or a Trump golf course or something that, was important of our our heritage, like the Statue of Liberty was a target. And I thought, why the Statue of Liberty? It doesn't have a lot of people around it, but it represents freedom. It represents something that's important to us. And so I saw them go in and they tried to take that out. I saw over, what's the gardens over? I'm sorry, son. The Madison Square Garden? Yeah. I saw them attacking that. I saw them attacking Chicago. I saw them attacking Houston area, Dallas area. I saw them trying to attack Oklahoma City, LA, Seattle. There was a lot of cities, instead of just going over all 10 of them, because it's kind of, ridiculous. But let me see. So, okay, so I told you about that. And so now, okay, so they take vans, and I saw the vans, and they had all kinds of different vans, because the vans weren't as, you see a big dump truck going down the road, you're going to know it. It's kind of like, especially it's parked it's mysterious, there was just a couple of those. But there was a lot of vans. I noticed that, those white cargo vans, and they filled the back of those vans full of the highly explosive fertilizer. And they sent those off in like parking garages. And they tried to get as close as they could to Trump buildings, to Trump hotels, and and they used drones. And the Lord showed me that they would try to attack with drones. They would use the drones to go into the stadiums and things that they could fly into. And I saw them taking those and running them into crowds in the stadiums, and they exploded and took out a whole section of people, because people weren't expecting. You're watching the football game or the baseball game or whatever, and so people were not paying attention to what's going on. And so,
if you think this is outlandish, you're mistaken. They've literally moved the inauguration indoors. Drones have been reported up and down the eastern seaboard. We don't know exactly who the operators are or why. Trump said on the day he's inaugurated, he's going to disclose to the public what those drones are doing and what they're looking for. Apparently, you keep hearing that they're looking for a radioactive payload that's somewhere in the area that I guess they're going to use to try to take out the DC capital area. Remember, these are all people that are facing prison soon. A lot of them are old people who have done things over the years, and it's all going to come out. And for them, they got nothing to lose. Why not just go for it? Burn it all down. And, if they get caught, at least they go to jail for that. At least they're not just waiting to get picked up. You guys don't understand. We're in troubling, scary times because we don't know what's going to happen, but we know something is coming. We know they're not going to just let us live out our days in peace with Trump as our president. So we might as well just prepare. But how can you prepare? By just not going to DC? I mean, but he's saying Houston, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Los Angeles. Los Angeles just got hit with fires that nobody can explain how a roof that was fireproof caught on fire. And a lot of the residents are now saying that they believe their smart meter detonated. It's not going to be a regular attack from a regular country, a stand-up war with shooting and all. No. They can't afford that. It's too risky. It's all going to be fifth dimensional warfare, guerrilla tactics, and they're going to use different methods that we're not expecting. But drones literally crashing the inauguration and explosions, I mean, we could expect that. I mean, for what he's saying, and then it might not even be that. It just might be different things happening to Americans during Trump's administration in a way to kind of pressure us to want to get rid of them. Anytime you're using violence to control a political outcome is terrorism. So yeah, this is basically terrorism. We just don't know. They keep saying Iran. If it was Iran, you wouldn't know. They're making Iran the scapegoat. But what it is just disgruntled Americans, Democrats in the deep state who are afraid of going to prison. And a lot of this could be just disinformation. I don't even know if they have the capability to do this. But remember, not all Americans are armed. Not all Americans are going to fight. But in the Revolutionary War back in 1776, only 3% of us fought. Everybody else was nonviolent or wanted to still stay under the crown. So just keep that in mind. We don't really need all the numbers. We're going to need some.
They flew the drone in and they set the thing up in the middle of the stadium and it killed, thousands of people, it looked like. And so the Lord said, you must pray for the inauguration, which I don't know if they're going to have it outside or not now. But I've been praying that he would not do the parade and he will not do the event on the 19th, which I think is really interesting is that one of my subscribers pointed out, he said, do you see that it's 119 backwards? It's 9/11.
It's so hot and heavy on the news last.
119, January 19 is actually 9/11 backwards. What a weird coincidence. I mean, I do believe in some gematria, and I mean, there could be something there with the numbers. But again, these videos that I'm making are for my audience, the people that follow me on Instagram and YouTube. Some of them are Facebook. Some of them, again, they don't really get any other news. All they see is reality TV shows, or they'll watch some gay people on CNN tell them what to think, some Marxists that are on there that don't like the country and just are just there to just disrupt. They have no idea what's really happening. And those same people told them that Biden was healthy and Kamala was going to win. They have a bad history of lying to you. So they're not going to tell you what to do to save yourself or how to save your neighborhood and your community. They want you to feel disconnected from your community. They want you to hate your community. They don't want you to fight back. They don't want you to defend yourself or defend your home. So you got to stay vigilant. Like, again, there's really not much you can do about somebody making predictions like that. There's really nowhere to run. And the best you can do is stay home, but you don't want to live in fear. You want to go to events. You want to go to stadiums. You want to go watch concerts and sports games. That's the American experience. But what you want to do is you want to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Have food, have water, have weapons, have ammo, have an escape plan. Be self-sufficient. Don't just depend on the government, the local government to be there for you. If emergency surgery services are down one day, what are you going to do for you and your family? You got to keep these things in mind and you got to start preparing ahead of time just in case. I'm not saying any of this stuff is going to happen. This is just the man who did this prediction right here.
Believe me if I told you that the assassination attempt on President Trump's life was actually prophesied in great detail months ago. Back in March, this guy named Brandon Biggs actually prophesied in some detail the events that just transpired not even just 24 hours ago. Let's go ahead and pull up this clip from Brandon Biggs and hear what he's got to say here.
And I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw
This was weeks before the assassination attempt. How in the fuck did he call the ear being shot? Like, that's like, this is weird. Like, this is crazy. He called this ahead of time, and there's videos that are timestamped. Like, he had these visions. And I mean, I don't know what that means, but I don't know.
He fell to his knees during this time frame and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus for what I saw coming. And
okay, Yeah, this is wild. This is wild stuff. And the reason why it's wild is because, well, first of all, he says that there's going to be some sort of assassination attempt. That by itself is not too crazy, okay? Because other people have basically said the same thing. Even Tucker Carlson predicted that there would be some sort of assassination attempt. So that's not the interesting part. The interesting part, though, is that he gets the details about the bullet correct. And so what he then says, after he says that there's going to be a bullet whizzing so close to his ear that it bursts his eardrum, usually with an eardrum bursting, there's blood coming out of the ear. That may be what he actually saw in his vision or dream, or however he experiences these prophecies. That's probably what he saw, was just blood coming out of the ear. But what actually happened is that the bullet went through his ear, through his earlobe, and then that's where the blood was coming from. And so it may not be that he was necessarily incorrect about this. The next thing that he says is that Trump is going to fall on his knees. Some people might actually interpret that as like just further confirmation that this prophecy is true, because that's exactly what happened after Trump was shot, is that he fell down on his knees, literally fell down on his knees. The Secret Service toppled on top of him trying to protect him. But what I would say in response to that is that he's actually using a Christian euphemism, or like a sort of evangelical euphemism. Getting on your knees means you're just like sort of devoting yourself to Christ. He's saying that Trump is going to become this really great Christian. Now that is going to take some time. Like we just don't know what's going to happen. It's only been 24 hours since the assassination attempt. So we just got to kind of wait and see. Like,
this video is obviously from a few months ago, but you know, I believe in people being clairvoyant. I've seen it happen before. Some of us are more connected than others. Some people have dreams, some people have visions. Some people can see a parallel dimension that's slightly further ahead than we are, and the events are going to be similar. So what's happening in another dimension might be happening here, and they're just seeing it ahead of time. It's just something that comes to them in a dream, or when they're asleep, or when they're in a certain state. I believe those things are possible, and I'm hoping he's wrong. Again, I don't want my bottom line affected. I want to still be able to go party and have a good time and enjoy myself and live my normal life and work and take care of myself. You know, we're in a very fragile economy, and it won't take much for people to not want to pay their bills no more, and to just let things go, and to be afraid and look for any excuse to stop. And we don't want that kind of disruption to happen. We want our bottom line to be secure. We want things to be safe. We just want to get Trump through this inauguration, and then once this inauguration passes, then we'll go from there. But that's where we're going to start. Do me a favor, follow, become a subscriber on YouTube, follow the page, Safe and Effective, and follow me on Instagram on the Safe and Effective podcast. They've been censoring my Instagram lately now, all of a sudden, since I started posting these videos. But I do make other posts, but every day they've been saying, they've been flagging my Instagram every time I post even pictures, and it'll tell me that certain things were taken down because it was not, I forgot what term they used, but it was a weird term that I've never seen before. And it says inauthentic posts. Like inauthentic, what the fuck does inauthentic mean? I posted it. So I see like 10 things that I posted. They're no longer here. They're no longer here. They've just been taking them down, taking down these videos that I do when I edit them and post them. And they've all been just saying the same thing, inauthentic, which I don't know what that means. So, but this is where you can follow me. I have a bunch of new followers. Probably in the last week and a half, over 200 new followers on this page. So I'm talking to you. I make these videos for you. And you can also follow me on, like I said, the YouTube. It's a more direct, and you can see more of the other content that I post. So become a subscriber there. I'm almost going to have 40 subscribers. So once I get to 50, I think I've made it officially. I think that's it. You know, let's pull out the champagne. So if you wouldn't mind following there. Remember, fuck Klaus Schwab, fuck the World Health Organization, and fuck the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization are literally the ones who are attacking us. They're under the Davos Group. The Davos Group is at war against Israel and the United States. And it's a proxy war over the United States, going between the World Economic Forum and Israel. Klaus Schwab is the head of the snake, and he's so old that he's like they're going for it all now, all balls all in. Klaus Schwab is a gay man who's a cross-dresser, and they're recreating the Western world in his image. That's why you see all the gay and trans stuff being pushed now. They're going for the gusto. You have the choice. You can resist and fight back, or you can just turn your kids over to them and bury your heads in the sand or go delete yourself. But you do have a choice. So anyway, fuck those people. And I'll see you guys once we log back on. Thank you. Signing out.
I've been looking for an apartment, but I have horrible credit. Cosigning.com helps you get a cosigner that helps you out to get your dream apartment. Don't let your horrible credit get you down. Cosigning.com has changed the game. I got a cosigner quick and easy. I couldn't have asked for a better service.